Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is true. Zeus, you may have, Milan, he may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Moment you've got lots of friends crowding around your door, money gone, and you're still here. They don't come no more. Rich networks say, have a crust of bread and stay. They say you can help yourself, but don't take too much. Hey, people. Yes, I'm here to talk about these boys again. Lord have mercy. I told y'all before I went on there that I was afraid to get to watch any of those episodes. I don't want to be drawn in to such craziness, right? But I did. I fell for it. And now I'm familiar with Bad Boys LA. Now, I have to say that I am guilty because the very moment that the last episode ended, I immediately went and unsubscribed from Zeus Network. I wanted to save that $5.99 and use it for a sandwich or a drink or something. I had no more interest in that show, right? It's basically a bunch of people who were paid to go and fight each other, hit each other in the face. That was basically it, right? But now it seems we have a new controversy. And we're going to talk about it. Why? Because it's on YouTube. Hey, Princess A, Fraser Laurie, Toontown. What happened to the picture, Toontown? Your picture gone. Definitely junkie stunt. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I want to discuss this. Prima One, how you doing? Egyptian goddess. Deandra Jamerson, Miss Piggy. How y'all doing? Hi, Cheryl Burnett, Mocha Drop. I want to speak to all you lovely souls. Oh, there's my moderators. Egyptian goddess, Soul Sister #1 show. How y'all doing? Okay. So I know a lot of you have not signed up for this thing. You haven't seen it, but it seems like this story people started talking about it a couple months ago when it came on this Bad Boys of LA, right? So apparently, I'm a very skeptical type of person. Ever since this show closed, was it 2 weeks ago? Every single person on the show has continued to beef with each other, right? They're doing a similar thing that they do in the beef sector, right? Everybody got a problem with everybody else. And all of a sudden, even if they were on that show together, they immediately get off and they start beefing with each other, right? Primarily, this is Christopher Milan. You know, he likes to hog the camera and he likes to get his camera time, right? So now it appears they're preparing for a reunion. I don't know that it's already been filmed. I suspect it has been. And so, so far, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but they prepared a reunion. And apparently, Christopher Milan is so upset with that woman, the producer, and Lemmy, that he has decided that not only will he not participate in the reunion, but he has then started his own network. Now, in all the time that I've been watching reality TV, which admittedly has become lesser in recent years, I've never seen a reality star go off the reality show and start another reality show bearing the same name as the reality show that he has left and some of the characters. Now, Milan Christopher is on here. He has stand his ground, and he is suggesting that he has indeed started his own network. And that's pretty powerful when you can start your own network in a week's time. Now, I thought it was more complicated than that to have a network, honey. I don't know if this boy, did he already have something under that name with nothing on it? It seems to me he got mad at that woman on that show because it portrayed him as a bully and a coward. in the last episodes, correct? But he is one of the ones who has an extensive history with reality TV and what they do and how they manipulate to create a show. They have to make it interesting, correct? Now, how in the hell is this man going to get off the show 2 weeks later, start his own network? People, there's flies in the suit, right? Not only are they all online, I mean, every single character has got problems still with every other character to keep this thing going with this beefing thing, right? And not only are they casting for their new season starting this week, but he simultaneously is starting a new network based in Atlanta, and he's also casting call. My thing is this: Zeus has sent him a cease and desist. Well, that could also be part of the routine. I think this might be a stunt to have the bad boys of Los Angeles competing with the bad boys of Atlanta, right? Because what are the people in that group? I mean, this is a very young crowd. What are they talking about? Milan Christopher, Zeus Network. They've been talking about it for 3 months. These people have an agency working to keep that name out front. And what better way to do it than to have Milan Christopher start his own network? How you going to start an own network? Was he Tyler Perry or somebody? Starting at your own network must be much, much easier than I thought. It seems to me that if he was going to start his own network, he would need a lot of help. And a lot of help from somebody like Zeus, since he was their star just 3 weeks ago. Right? And the same people who appeared on one show are now on the other show. It reeks, baby. I'm sorry. It hurts your feelings. But it reeks to me of stunt. Publicity stunt. Never has this happened before in reality TV. Now, I don't know. These guys are like they're not like what they do on YouTube, where they have these web series. I guess they just have their own, they call it a network, but I'm not clear exactly what Zeus is. I am clear that they have probably tens of thousands of dollars in equipment. They have many employees wearing the Zeus jackets. They have higher security. They have money to pay for these large filming places, these big houses and stuff like that. I have not been impressed that Milan has any of these things. So how's this man going to start his own damn network? If you just said that web series or something, anyway. So here's his stance. He told Zeus sent him a cease and desist, and Zeus told him that not only that you're trying to steal our name and play off our name, but you're also signed a contract which said you could not participate in another reality show to next year, right? Now his camp is saying, well, he's not going to be on the show. He's going to produce the show, right? And then these other two actors from that show are going to be on this show, and probably we'll see them battling over another one, trying to bring another one over there and that kind of thing. I think it's all a stunt. I'll just tell you what I think, because the joy in calling the thing a thing, when it comes out, the truth comes out, you always have bragging rights. I told you. See, I told you it was a stunt. I don't see how this dude, Christopher, first of all, I don't see how he's so mad and angry and all this shit, right? He mad and angry and screaming and hollering. I don't buy it. I don't buy that all of these people, each and every single one of them, are in beef with another one on social media, right? All of their arguments and their fights and things seem fake during the show, and they seem fake after the show. Although I must just say they seem realer after the show than they did on the show. But this is just something they wouldn't film in 2 weeks, right? So they went and rented the house, and then they put these people in the house for a couple of weeks, and they made this whole season. And I guess if we were to believe that Christopher believes that he can do that, he's saying that, well, I can do that. I haven't seen anything to indicate this man is capable of the business aspect of running a network or during a startup, even if it is just an app that they do. How is he going to compete with something like Zeus, who has already produced several shows, who's already up and running? Anyway, we'll see. but they're both having their auditions now. So that tells me that they are competing with each other. Now, whether Zeus is a party to it or this is something that Milan Christopher has dreamed up, it's still not clear. But I do believe it's a stunt. Now, as far as Milan Christopher, he's saying in his reply to Zeus and their cease and desist, he's saying that Zeus doesn't own shit. There have been Bad Boys movies and Bad Boys plays and Bad Boys books and all kind of Bad Boys, right? Isn't there a show on I think on Amazon called the boy? No, that's The Boys. He's saying you don't own anything. That's anybody can use that name. But at the same time, he says out of one side of his mouth. At the same time, out of this side of his mouth, he's saying that he has copywritten that name for Bad Boys Atlanta. He's saying it don't mean shit. You can't copyright. You don't own nothing. At the same time, he goes and copyrights the name for Atlanta. So, Milan Christopher, this is what you call, at the very least, is cheap and tawdry. But you are definitely playing off of their name. You're taking the publicity from that show, the clout from Bad Boys LA, and you're going to use that name. If you were a legitimate person, you could have made up any name on the planet. But no, you wanted to play off of Bad Boys LA, like this is a franchise, right? Like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The difference being those were all the same franchise, right? You just going to try to go and take the name. So at the best, this is very unprofessional. It looks bad. The show already looked cheap. Now, a lot of the things about the show on Zeus didn't look cheap. The production seemed okay, but basically, you guys didn't do anything. All you did was get off the bus and start hitting each other in the face. Much more planning should have been put into what kind of show you wanted to have. If you wanted to have beefs or whatever, you guys just threw that thing together. And so, but you're kidding yourself if you think that you didn't steal those people's name. You stole it. You're trying to play off of it. And it's happened right on the heels of one show ending in between the next show starting. No, this is obviously supposed to be some kind of competition. You're auditioning on the same weekend for the same show in different towns. Right? But yet every time you appear on social media, you act like you and this woman, Natalie, can't get along at all. You're screaming and hollering at her. And she's saying, no, 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 no. Try, hush now. Hi, y'all. God before everything. What's good? What's going on? Is it Charles Dodson? Hi, Charles Dodson. True Black Cheetah. How y'all doing? Have y'all watched this show? I figure, well, it's $5.99. It's whatever people are talking about, you know. I'm not very interested in the show itself. It's kind of silly, but it's for young people, so you can only expect so much. But I don't see how this dude all of a sudden is running studios and things. Milan Christopher, did those people give you enough money to buy $100,000 worth of equipment to film? Because the last thing we want to see is a series made on your cell phone, honey. Do you have the capacity? Well, anybody can rent an Airbnb house, you know, for a couple of days. Are you going to have the same plot? Are you going to put people in a house and do the exact same thing as this other channel? You know, is it going to be anything different to differentiate from what you had over there? And why would you drag around a mullah? I thought y'all hated each other. You were enemies, right? So you want to bring the straight fighting the gay element to this new thing you're doing, which is the same thing they did. If you're going to have a show, why don't you take it seriously and take a year or two and create your own production, your own show, instead of just going over there and doing something so obviously petty? This is what makes me think that this is all a stunt. This could be financed by Zeus. I don't believe he's going to have money for houses and equipment and employees and security and insurance. Because if all you're going to do is go in there and fight each other, then you need insurance, and it's going to be very expensive since you're hitting people over the head with chairs and so forth. Can you really afford to do all that? Let alone all of the airfare and the hotel fares. And can we assume that you would pay the actors? Because why would an actor go from Zeus, where they're being paid 10 or 15,000 for their little part, and then come to you and do it for free? No, that means you would have to pay them. So do you have $15,000, $20,000 for each person who participates, Milan Christopher? Or is this a stunt? I also noticed that you have your website up and you're charging $4.99. You charge $1 less. Like, people are going to go to your channel because it's a $1 less. These people have got full production, a full company, and you're going to come up with your iPhone and do the same, and you're going to charge $1 less. Milan Christopher. Those people can get away with charging such low numbers for their memberships, mainly for one thing, because it's a monthly thing, comes out of the people's pay, but also because they have a big enough audience where maybe $4.99, $5.99 is not a lot of money, but when you compound that by a few 100,000, then some money, right? Like any other network. What y'all think? What y'all think about this? I know everybody haven't watched that thing. He's even gonna bring the moolah over there. He's how he mixed it up, girl. So now you got a flyer. And then the other guy, what's the other one's name? The one that just joined at the very end was be his friend. They got beat up. He said, "I watched him get beat up," although he denies that he watched. You didn't watch because you were hiding in the room, dude. Come on. But I'm trying to figure out. I got an unstable connection. Why is it unstable? What is it with this shit? Is this a San Francisco thing? Anyway, I might get blurry for a moment. But this dude who, what's his name? Please tell me. The newest guy, for those who watch that show. Is it R or something? Or whatever his name. Usually, I'll see it later on down in the chat. Whatever the boy's name is, the one who took all the ass whoopings and got beat down with a chair. He got a full head of hair now. Now, people, they said I was petty because I saw them pull them braids out of his hat in the other show, which I know, that's why I knew it was fake. And then Jonathan shows up with the same hair he pulled out of his head, supposedly, and he put them on in his hat, took the hat off so the little pieces of hair would fall off, right? Then when they showed him, he was constantly trying to wrap and hide his head after that. But it showed you how fake it was. He tried to hide his head. And then when he was getting beat down with the chair, the hat slipped off. And so you can see that he had some strange hairstyle where the hair was back here, like a ball of hair way back in the back of his head, right? And all this was bald up in here. Now the man appears. It looks like he's got a full hairline, and actually a low-fitting hairline. So can somebody say man piece or man unit? You can't believe none of that stuff, Chad. So we're going to see. And I get bragging rights. I haven't watched the show, but I'm familiar with Milan Christopher, whose ego and grandiose gay thug attitude is bigger than his talent. And I suspect Charles Dodson bigger than his pocketbook. Bigger than his pocketbook. He ain't got no money to be starting no networks, child. I assume everybody gonna want to be paid. He hasn't even cast the damn thing. He has a casting call. Are you going to inform the people at the casting call that they're not getting no money because you don't have $2,000 or $3,000 to pay them? Even if you pay them $10,000, which is something like scale, honey, you ain't got the money, right? You're gonna have to drop at least $50,000, $75,000, $80,000 just for the cameras. You can't shoot something like that with one camera. No, you got to have the whole setup, honey. All the lighting, the locations. So it could be that he's just playing with these people. But be aware, Milan Christopher, don't be on here collecting money from people, even if it is $4.99 under false pretenses. If you're not going to follow through and actually have a network that is cast in Atlanta and come up with some harebrained story about why the show didn't go forward, you're setting yourself up for some serious legal action, I would suspect. Let's see. Y'all ain't talking today. Not a lot of people have watched the thing. I guess it's entertainment. I mean, it's something. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I'm sure. I'm glad you got Moolah. What Moolah supposed to go over there and be uncomfortable with the gays again? Are you going to try to do the same damn thing? If anything, Moolah should be just as mad as Zeus as you, because you're saying that Zeus made you appear to be a bully and a coward. And then Moolah is saying they made him appear to be a homophobe, which he insists that he's not. Although the lines they gave him, or the storyline they gave him, was to constantly be in opposition to the gay. No gay. The last episode, he danced with some stripper, and so they sprang it on. Oh, you know that was I just got the word. That was a transgender. Oh, I didn't know it was a transgender. I didn't. Baby, if Zeus production was low quality, you can only imagine what Christopher Milan's production is going to look like. So, Christopher Milan, I would suggest to you, if you want to play games, you want to act like you're so angry that you want to start your own channel, all that kind of stuff, or you have big ideas and dreams, I doubt that a bank's going to lend you money for that. Don't collect any money. That's what's going to get you in trouble. To defraud. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. When first we practice to deceive, right? Just like they would have put through Donald Trump's ass in jail if he wasn't the president. We ain't got no history of throwing ex-presidents in prison, right? But all them old charities that he is, remember all those schemes, everything's a stunt. And what does it emphasize? That he collected money for it. I'm not trying to count anybody's money, but he is a struggling reality star trying to stay relevant in a way possible, any way possible. So I doubt if his money is as long as Zeus Network. Right. They'll use their money if they choose to. You just take a little couple of drops of it, girl, and crush him in court and take whatever little stuff he has. He ain't going to have nothing, child. Does anybody believe that Milan Christopher has money to be going around buying these trucks? When I see them filming something in San Francisco, they don't do a lot of that here, but in LA, it's all over the place, right? And when they film something here, they got trucks lined all of them down the street. They got to have caterers for all the people who participate in it. They're doing these things in these houses. They got to pay the people to allow that to happen in their neighborhood. It's expense after expense after expense, right? Even to do a week production like Zeus has done. What's he going to do? Is this just an angry kid banging his head in the wall? Is this what this is, Milan Christopher? Milan Christopher, are you the kind of child that thinks you're white, and when you don't get what you want in the supermarket, you throw yourself into the center aisle, start screaming and hollering until your mammy give you what you want? Are you one of those kind of children? You would have never made it in my house. My mama would knock your head all the way off. So are you being a spoiled brat, Milan Christopher? I don't know. He is such a camera hog. I find it hard to believe he's going to try to have a network. First of all, the whole idea is stupid. But I thought that where he's not on it. So he's saying that, well, I still don't know that guy's name. What's his name? You know, Charles Dodson, the newest guy, the one he's taking over there with him, the one that got beat up with the chair. I forgot my chain of thought now. Never mind. Never seen one episode, but I'm here for your insight. There are no episodes. He hasn't even cast the thing. This is just him running his mouth at this point, hasn't he? But he has made himself a flyer, and he has made himself a thumbnail, and he's trying to create some buzz for this new company. Now, if it's that easy to make a damn network, shouldn't everybody have a network? I mean, is this the Timothy Blaine network right now? According to Zeus, their current content subscribers is 904,000. Okay. So they're almost at 1 million at $3.99 per month. I paid them $5.99 per month, Charles Dodson. But they've got several shows on there. I mean, they're all about the same thing. They're just people beating each other up. I think they have another one starting this week. What's it called? Baddies. And then they've got several other things on there. I guess this was their big success, though, just because of the promotion. So Milan Christopher stick out. He could, if they can do that, I can do that. Milan Christopher, where you gonna have your offices at? Is that gonna be in your apartment? What are movies on Zeus? I don't think I've seen no movies on there. They do a reality TV. They have Jocelyn's that woman, that Puerto Rican woman. Ooh, she's irritating. All their show is strippers. All they do is fight too. I guess they had something called Bad Girls Club, which that got shut down because of the violence. Now they got something called Baddie coming on. I think it's 4 or 5 shows on there. Whatever. They call it the Zeus Network, but I'm not sure what a network means exactly. But I just don't see how Milan Christopher can put one together in a week. The damn thing ended last week. So this is all, as far as we know, he was not planning on no separate show in Atlanta, Bad Boys Atlanta, when the show ended. Right? So this is something new off the top of his head. Milan Christopher, maybe you ought to spend a little time in self-reflection, bro. And I want to give you a suggestion, just man to man, just me and you. Milan Christopher, you ever hear this? I know y'all put your name in the search engine. Y'all hear stuff, right? Stop wearing so much stuff. I mean, that's the primary reason why I can't take you seriously. Right? You want to act like you are some kind of porn star. You're all this stuff. But then you got all this stuff on, all this jewelry, and you're carrying a purse all the time, girl. And you got all these goddamn loud ass clothes. And it's just too much. It's distracting from the male part of yourself. If all we're looking at Gucci purses and shit, girl, you're supposed to be presenting yourself as a masculine man. Now, we can understand the girls walking around here with all that shit on, child. But you got 5 or 6 bracelets here, 3 or 4 watches over here, girl. You got shit across your chest. You got big ass goddamn jewelry all over. Girl, they said you were fine. I said, where at? Shit, all I see is junk. You don't put everything you own on at the same time, Milan Christopher. If you want to present yourself as a masculine man, then look masculine, honey. Tone it down. They think I'm being messy, and I am. This is my opportunity. The information on Google hasn't been updated then to the current $5.99 rate. I just can't bring myself to subscribe to a Ratchet Telephone Hood show and have them going in your bank account now. They want your bank information now. You've been in business for 1 week. You have no production. You have no offices. You have no cameras. You have no lighting. You have shit, and you want me to let you into my bank account, and you want my bank information, child, so you can reach in and grab money? No, baby. Milan Christopher, we appreciate that if you were mad at these people. Frankly, I don't think any of you are mad at anybody. I don't think none of you. What you should have did is try to spend whatever budget you have, if you save some of your little check, and go and try to hire Andrew Caldwell. Now that was entertainment, honey. Baby. What you made your mistake, Milan Christopher, when you jumped on Andrew the very first time he got off the bus, right? Because even though y'all say he's crazy, he's slow, he's delayed, and all that kind of stuff, that boy had enough sense to realize, oh, This is what this is. And he took off and left y'all ass right there now and headed for the airport. So whatever you say about Andrew Caldwell, he did have enough sense to recognize bullshit. Because if Andrew is going to be involved, he's going to get his ass kicked every day. If they're jumping on the innocents, you can imagine what they do to Andrew. So you showed your hand too fast, Milan Christopher. So you're going to be the executive. Maybe you need to come out and make a video and tell us your plan, honey. They say, oh, he's not going to be, he can make another show because he's not going to be on it. Really? With an ego like that, how in the hell is he going to sit back and watch all these other guys be the ones in front of the camera? It ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen. I think he's going to build this thing up like he's going to do something. There's going to be no offices, no production or anything. You ain't going to buy shit. No vans, you know, that load up the equipment and all that kind of stuff. None of that is. And then for whatever reason, he's going to back out of, he's going to claim that they had some kind of contractual obligation or some kind of shit like that, right? So if you want to do that, Milan Christopher, don't collect people's money. That's where the trouble comes. That's where the fraud comes. Maybe Tyler Perry or Baker Ruff, they both in Atlanta. Maybe in his mind, he sees himself as the next Tyler Perry's. He probably didn't appreciate that guy, that little young guy. What's his name? Lemon? Whatever his name is. The producer. He said, oh, I hear you ain't all that. You ain't all that. Just like he got an attitude with that Kerrion Franklin because he just happens to be Kirk Franklin's son, right? It was simple as this. He was jealous of him. No telling what kind of hole this boy crawled out of in Chicago. He resented that boy from being a successful man's son, right? So immediately he questioned his ability to do anything in music. Now, this dude has been around music all his entire life, right? He immediately shut him down. He's a jealous person and he wants the camera for himself. If he's going to make a network, it's going to be focused on himself, not on other little gay boys, right? Show on Venus. I wish they should sell the show. Sean Bradley, y'all need to sell the show to Zeus and see what they can mix it up. Because apparently Christopher says that they chop it up so bad, it's mix it up. Perhaps they could do something with all of the footage that you shot. No sense in letting it sit there, right? Ty's name is hardly ever mentioned anymore, so maybe they fell out. I don't know. Lemuel Plummer is the owner, CEO of Zeus. Yes, Lemuel, right. Well, his parents, they were producers of apparently syndicated, or not, maybe syndicated is not the right word, but they had several shows they have produced. His family was already in the business. So I could see how he could have easily got into the business himself. Hi, Keisha Paul. Thank you for a super chat. Can y'all send my uncle some super chats, please? Thank you for your consideration, Keisha. Thank you for super chat. I would love to see that Atlanta footage. I would too. I would love to see it. I'm sure they can mix it up and make something out of it. You know, you can do anything in editing. But they never mentioned Ty's name anymore. So either she's not in Club Chat anymore, or they have fallen out, or I don't know what happened. We can thank her. It was an interesting experience. We certainly got plenty of commentary for over 2 years' time. People got trips and stuff like that, you know. It's better than sitting around just stuck in the house for 2 years because of COVID. Baby, if they would have let that Andrew Caldwell, they could guarantee his safety. People would have just tuned in just to see him wearing that fur coat in the middle of the desert, honey. That's entertainment. So, Milan Christopher, you look like you painted yourself into a corner now. Now you're going to look like a fool when this thing does not pan out, right? You got hot. You got a good idea. Maybe you smoked a couple of doobies. You start feeling good, and you came up with an idea, and you formulated that idea in 1 week with no backing, no equipment, no locations, no employees, no security, no insurance, no nothing really. You just came up with the idea, and you just came up with a flyer. Maybe you got this Mulan to sign on, and the other guy, which y'all still won't tell me the name. The other guy, the one who now has a full head of hair, although 3 weeks ago he didn't have any hair, or he had a little bit on the back to attach his braids to. Now he ain't got nothing at all. I mean, now he got a full head of hair, so I guess he's gonna wear a wig. He can hire Monique. At least it's a job, Elaine. It's something, right? Child, I guess that brother is running out of time. They keep calling him old, so I guess in their mind, 40 or so is old. There's something. He's young enough to be my son, but he's old. But that's the way it goes. They're saying he's old, and he's trying to make his last move before it's over with. Right? He won't not going to be hired for any other reality show. Kind of getting long in the tooth. So now he's going to make his own show. But I think that's just an idea that blew through his brain. I don't see any follow-up happening. It'll be interesting to watch. Look what Tyler Perry did. But the difference, Milan Christopher, is Tyler Perry was funny. I mean, he had content, honey. When I first saw his very first play, when it was aired, girl, I was on the ground laughing. Now you can do that. Sure, you can build your own network. Good evening, all. Hi, Tim. And no one. Wait a minute. No one died at the building. Okay, Gamage Carter had a problem over in his building yesterday, and he had to spend his evening over here with me because they had blocked off his block. No one died in the building, and the resident no longer is a resident. Oh, they evicted him in 1 day? Is that legal? Maybe they have him in the crazy house. Good news, Steve got the... Oh, I got some calls to make. Well, we're glad you didn't have a psychopath on your floor. Gamage lives in a high rise, and I guess it's okay to say something about it. Probably is in the news. Some lunatic was in a hallway, and they had to. He was held. Was he hostage or held a hostage up in there or something? Anyway, he caused their building to be shut down. They couldn't go home for several hours. So apparently, no one's dead. That's the main thing, and he is gone. So you can't evict nobody in California in 1 day. What you can do is get them 5150, and they go to the lunatic, and you pack his shit up, I guess. Yes, we ate yesterday. We had Chinese. Well, I had just had a small lunch, and he called me immediately after. Said, "Well, let's go to a restaurant." And so we had this big Chinese meal. Then when we got back, we realized, oh, you still can't go home. They're not finished. They several more hours. So we watched some kind of movie, and then we ordered. His building was buying dinner for everybody, so we said, well, they'll pay for it. Let's just go get something else. So we got pizza after that, girl. I was a stuffed pig last night. We just ate and ate and ate. Baby. Dini. Hey, Dini. Spoiled child. Come in over here in the ding dong ding. Get him on. Get it in the ding dong ding. Everything secure. It was nice to see you though, Carter. I haven't had no company in here, girl. Hardly anybody in the last 3 years, really. 2.5, something like that. The whole time. Oh, Lord, look at that face. Good thing I'm not trying to catch anymore. I can look like whatever the hell I want to look like. I could rock around in my fuzzy slippers all day if I want to. You prefer Cash App? Do I prefer Cash App? Oh, yes. Yeah, the content creators, we prefer Cash App, Charles Dawson. Want to send you something. Oh, is the thing in there? Oh, wait a minute. Let me stop everything and make sure Charles Dawson. Here's my Cash App. Timothy. What is it? Hey. What is it? No, it ain't at. It's something else. You see how often I use this. No, you're supposed to put the Cash App sign first, right? Moderators, if I didn't get this right, you see how often I put it in. That's me, Charles. Yeah, Cash App is always better because one thing, you get it immediately. If you super chat somebody, they don't get that to the next month. If you Cash App them, they get pretty close to 100% of the money, all the money, and they get it instantly. Soon they pick the phone up, they have it. So, yeah, it's always better. Thank you. Thinking about me, though. That's nice. Still no word on the missing gentleman, huh? 8 whole days, and not a word from him. 8 whole nights. I guess we had about enough of him. Child, Wilson's still missing. Let me see. Did I get it in there right? I think it's Cash App Timothy Blaine. Baby, stop. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, it's capital letters. Oh, Charles Dawson, if it doesn't work, look at the one way Elaine did it. Capital T and capital B. I put small t and small b. I don't know if it worked or not. That's it. So you see how often I put it up there. But thank you, my moderators, for handling that for me. You know. Hi, Soul Sister #1 show. You have the dancing girls up? The dancing girls. Oh, thank you, Charles Dawson. See, I just got it. Just like that, I got the money. It is now in my bank account, man. You just push cash out, instant, and it's done. Thank you. I'm in my climactic scene in my novel. I got to figure out. Well, no, I know who the killers are now, but I got to wrap it up. But it's in like the last 2 pages or something like that. Pretty much. I mean, you don't know till you get it right to the end. You don't want to just cut it off. That's for sure. So it could go on longer, but I believe I'm in definitely the last chapter, maybe the last couple of pages of my new novel. Beef, the Murder in the Beef Sector 2, still unnamed. Let me see. Uncle Tim, you should watch Love, Marriage, Huntsville. Love and is popular, isn't it? Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Everybody got to love and not. I named my first novel Love and Gospel Music. I had no idea about any of these reality. This was before any of these reality shows where they have love and hip hop and love and all this stuff. I didn't even know. It's just something that comes together. You're talking about love and you're talking about whatever the subject is. So that was the whole first 4 books was Love and Gospel Music. Everyone is dead. What happened? Oh, Lord have mercy. Everyone is dead. Girl, wait a minute. Soul Sister, #1 show. Are you suggesting Everyone is Dead as a title? Because you're not going to believe me. If that's what you're saying, honey, I was going to name that book Everyone Dies, but I didn't want to give away the storyline. But that was one of the ones I was going to name it though. Everyone is dead or everyone dies. We'll work it out. I didn't want to give the whole story away. Say, well, hell, I already know the end of it. We just caught each other in the spirit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for my book, that's one of the names though. Everyone is dead. I can't tell the end of the story. I think the murderer is Passer. I know nothing. I see nothing. Y'all remember Schultz? McHale's Navy. Was that McHale's Navy? No, it was Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes. They had the nerve to make a comedy about Hitler and his armies. Lord have mercy. It was funny though. I know nothing. I see nothing. I'm gonna put that back on my list though, Soul Sister #1 show. We'll see. Usually when you write, when you get to the end of the book, you'll know the title will be obvious to you. It just come to you what it is. This is how the whole thing ended. You know. Tim, you should watch Love and Marriage Huntsville to provide us with your thoughts and views. Huntsville? Now, where is that at? In the South? I don't watch reality shows. I only picked up this thing here because all the gays were talking about this damn Zeus thing. I kind of found the story of this young guy having his own network interesting. But if you could have a network in 1 week's time with no backing at all, maybe it ain't such a bad idea that he has a network. But he's done several things. And like I said, I heard some of his bio. His parents, they do that for a living. They've been making reality shows or spiritual shows for his whole life. So he was just born into the business. I hope if Milan Christopher does become the next Tyler Perry, he will take all those purses and jewelry and all that stuff off, child. I can't make you understand how distracting all that shit is, girl. All the extra booties and just too much. It's just too many images. That's a personal preference. You God Before Everything. You read the book? I can't believe that love and gospel music was a work of fiction. Seemed too real. I'll tell you a secret about that. Love Before Everything. A whole lot of that book. It was real smack up close to reality. Certainly the first chapters. Anyway. Yeah, so that's why. On your first book, that was my big novel. I spent a lot of time on that novel. It's 420 pages. But when you first start writing, then all you can really write about is what you know, right? So that's why that book is more reflective of actual things, actual events within the church, gay people in the church. A lot of the emphasis was on gay men who sing gospel music for a living, but who are also gay. And this focuses around his character. So it's a coming of age story kind of thing, right? But I hate to say that it's not a gay story. It's the coming of age of the main character, but all the characters around the person, they're not necessarily gay. They're husbands and wives. There's all kind of people, fathers and mothers and grandmothers. But several of the people that were in that book, God Before Everything, were actual people. A lot of the backgrounds of some of the adults were actual events, actual things that happened. That's, to me, in my heart, I think that'll always be my best book. Critics will say that The Epiphany was my best book, the one immediately following that. But I like them all. I like all of them, really. I believe Milan comes from the ballroom house scene, so he brings a lot of that flamboyance. But the flamboyance is supposed to be on the drag queens. Charles Dawson? Not if he gonna be. How could he be from the ballroom scene if he's not in drag? Wasn't the ballroom scene about being in drag, doing drag shows? Now, granted, I mean, you could be a masculine person and still be in the scene as the announcer or as playing along with the queen, but you will be the man in the scene, right? You'll be walking her down the aisle. But I don't think the men are supposed to be flamboyant like that. Although we know from Pose, what's the main character? He was very flamboyant. Yeah, I just find it distracting. If you're going to be a porn star, then I think you're promoting body, looks, washboard stomachs, big fat altered asses, and all this kind of stuff. I can't get into all them decorations. And why is a man walking around with a big old purse across him all the time? What is so important in your purse that you can't take your purse off to go and do a scene? Right? It just gives me too many mixed images. Mm-hmm. Now we know in the gay world, looks can be deceiving, right? So you'll see these guys in the gay lesbian girls. They be dressed up from head to toe in leather, you know, and they're all mean looking, sitting in the bar with the chest all pussed out, right? Hairy chest and all that. But if you listen to that conversation, it'd be, oh, girl, what you cooked last night in this thing? Oh, honey, look at that man, look at me over there. It'd be the same thing, girl. It's just costume, right? So he chooses his costume to be this flamboyant stuff. It is hard sometimes, Charles Dawson, as you get to be a certain age, to relate to some of these current fashions and styles and things, right? For me, it seems like a Christmas tree with all this stuff on. But I see now they all got these big old things. How's it a necklace? Then all the rappers, they all have diamonds all up and down this thing here. Then 4 or 5 diamond necklaces and all this jewelry. Whatever. I'm from a different era. I'm not up on things. I guess somebody would find all that attractive. Then you couple that with tattoos all the way up to your neck. I mean, how you know you're going to be feeling that way next year? Where you want tattoos. Maybe you want to get a job next year, honey. But that's the way they look now. That's just, I remember when only poor white people would have all these tattoos on. And then it went on to just what white people in general will have these tattoos on. And then the black people start wearing these tattoos. And now all of them, all the young people, they just got tattoos all over the goddamn place. Tattoos on their forehead, tattoos under their eyes and all that. I'm trying to say, is that going to age well? But that's just me. That's a personal thing. I can't keep up with their fashion. And them skinny jeans, I be thinking about, oh, every time I see them, I be grabbing my nuts. God damn, ain't that painful? Okay, I believe Milan comes from ball. Okay. What did he do in the ballroom scene? I've heard that before. I don't follow him. I never heard of him before this show. But he wasn't a queen, was he? Maybe he put on the shows. Was he like a promoter of the ballroom scene? They never called him a promoter. Baby, calm down. Let me take off your vest. This is the worst time for videos because everybody's coming home from work. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you look at these people, I say, well, girl, I can't get past all the tattoos. It's just, it doesn't fit my fantasies. I'm just starting the Epiphany. Oh, if you're going to love that, God Before Everything. That's a great book. That book was almost picked up by a professional editor at a magazine read that book, and he called that a nearly perfect novel. You can still see it on Amazon. And he took a real interest in my writing after that. He put me on the cover of a magazine. My book is the best book of that month for gay romance novel. He called it that, but it's not actually what it was. But and he even volunteered to edit my next novel, which was Muse, right? And I sent him the manuscript, and I waited and waited and waited, and then like a month and a half later, I found out this guy who took such an interest in my writing, who could help me get into a traditional publisher, had died. His name was Alan. Yeah, he died for real. I even been researched it, and he died from a heart attack. So that's a great book, though. Epiphany. The Epiphany. Mm-hmm. I wish Almond Brown. Yeah, Almond Brown, you can go to her. If you just go to her page, you can just go to her playlist, and she's read all 4 of those books. And since it's in a playlist, if you listen to them, it's just like listening to an audiobook, right? Because they'll play them one after another, and she's reading them. So essentially, it is what an audiobook is. Mm-hmm. So proud of her. She read the whole series. Oh, okay. He was in the Butch Queen. Butch Queen. Butch Queen. Butch. Butch. Yeah, he probably played the stud role in that thing. Mm-hmm. Strutted down the highway. They always had they had categories, right? They didn't have that in LA, as far as I know, when I was younger. I don't remember hearing about any not in Hollywood anyway. They didn't have no club scene. I mean, no house scene. These clowns on YouTube talk down about me. Child, these ones on God Before Everything. These ones on YouTube, they buy your book, all right. They're downloaded. They ain't but $5 or $6, and they go in there looking to see what they can find out about you. That's how they see writing, honey. Motherfucker, they read a book since grade school, girl. Lord have mercy. It's amazing, child. But that Meth Monster, when I came on YouTube, I think it only sold like 300 copies. It was like something that only people who knew me personally had read, people from my church or my family. Because, I mean, why wouldn't anybody else just pick it up? The subject matter being meth was the hook, right? But until I came to YouTube, 300-400 copies. Now it's sold over 8,000 copies, right? So it caught on. It takes a while for books to catch on, kind of thing. But with an audience now, my books are being much more read. Put it like that. And thank you guys who have taken time to actually review them, leave reviews, because even the reviews are now are 20, 30 times as many as there were before, when I was just a little baby writer. I just like doing it. I just like accomplishing something and finishing it, because I was never a person who finished anything. So a book is a thing where you set out and make a plan, you tell a whole story, and you're able to finish it. Like if you go to a movie or something, when you see the credits at the end of it, you got all these people. I mean, some of these movies got 1,000 people working on the book, on the movie, right? But a writer, or you write a novel, it's just you and your editor. So something you actually create yourself. A lot of y'all will do that, particularly after you retire. After you retire, you're going to be looking for things to do. You're going to start chopping away at that bucket list. And you've lived some, the older you get. Writing is the kind of thing that the older you get, you're actually better the older you are as a writer, because you've had more experiences. And all of your experiences find their ways onto the pages of the book, right? Soul Sister, yes, me too. At first, I resisted watching posts because it didn't interest me. But after watching a few episodes, I was hooked. Yep, that's how all that stuff is, child. Now, I didn't already got rid of Zeus. I hope I ain't got to go back on here now to see this competition. That's how the whole thing works. That's what makes me suspicious that this is not just birthed out of Milan Christopher's mind. It could be a plot, a scheme, publicity stunt. Anything that makes us watch can be used as a publicity stunt. Could be a publicity stunt. They'll do anything. You know, we're still talking about it. It's just a little show on Zeus. So it's working. Are you listening to? Are you a fan of the writing? God Before Everything? Mm-hmm. That's a spiritual book. You'll never know it to hear it on here, though. Baby, you never hear it on. All they think about is dumpster diving. I said, well, goddamn. Was that even a whole line in the book? They would found that girl dead in the middle. Like, ooh, dumpster dive. Well, you ain't got to read the book, baby. Just go downtown. Or go to where your local drug addicts hang out. And you'll see there's the dumpsters. There's the mess monster. Hi, Mean Mug. What's popping, sir? Have you seen him? Tell me, have you seen him? Why, oh, why did Wilson go and run away? Oh, yeah. Oh, he got tired of being caught lying, and he was long. Baby, he was. Come on back, Wilson. I need somebody to knock around, girl. Get your ass back. Somebody done stole my punching bag, honey. Where is he? I don't know, girl. He's talking some bullshit. Nobody listens about. I don't care about what Wilson talking about. He said he was going to Florida. This is a long vacation, child. Shouldn't you have your ass at work at home looking for a job? You out sunning in Florida sun, girl. You ought to have your ass trying to kind of sneak up on another job, girl, or another training, get another degree. Well, at least we made it all the way to the end before the dreaded name came up. That's Troy Allen's ball right now. He's playing with that, honey. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it, people. But don't let these people trick you into signing up for Zeus if you don't want to. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. Don't let them tell you who to sock it to. I guess they wouldn't have related to our fashions either, Charles Dawson. When you look at them old pictures and you see them bell bottoms and you see them hip huggers and especially the purple polyester suits, girl, guy, platform shoes. I'm sure they won't relate to our fashions either. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you, Tara Von Trail, for a super chat. Oh, look at that little emoji. She got purple hair. Oh, that's fuchsia hair. Oh, she's fishy. No, fishy is not a bad thing. It just means feminine. So a pastor could get unemployment. You think last time he came on here, when he first came on, crying and whining about he gonna lose his house and all that. He said, "Oh, I didn't want to go to no unemployment line. Why? I can just get a job. I can just go get it. I didn't want no charity." You know what? I think that boy's daddy must have beat the shit out of him concerning taking anything from any government agency. He is obsessed with people living off the system. Nigga, we are the system, bitch. Right? That's where the government is, nigga. It comes out of our pocketbooks, girl. So you don't want to get your blessings, honey? Then fine. Go out, get you won't end up, Jay Wilson, with a janitorial bucket, right? Because you just can't seem to do it, buddy. If you ain't did it, if you don't have a good job by now, you may never have one. Ooh, we've all had our various jobs. I've had mine. Nigga, you had yours too. Now I know the difference. I think that motherfucker in that trailer will beat the shit out of the motherfucker's girl. First thing he said when he was on that, went on that page, he said, "Oh, I said, what about the trailer?" He said, "Oh, we was good, we was great, we was a great family. No school lunches, no school lunch. Why you jump to school lunches, nigga? We talking about where you were raised, girl. Jumped immediately to poverty. You've struggled your entire life, Jay Wilson, and you've become such a disappointment. So I'm sure when you go back to Florida, you go back with a whole satchel full of lies about what it is that you do. Oh, that YouTube, that's just my hobby, because they apparently know about it. At least his sister knows about it, because she came on one time after I had made one of my black screen videos. And she said, "Oh, we wasn't even sleeping. I ain't thinking about Timothy Blaine. We wasn't even sleeping on the floor. We had a bed." That's just something I do for a hobby. No, Jay Wilson, it's not something you do for a hobby. This is how you've supplemented your pitiful income for the last 3 years. This is it, girl. It's essential. And now you're out there with no job and no YouTube and no commercials. What about the commercials? So maybe you collected enough from the gullible people in your chat before you left. That's why you had to collect several thousand. And frankly, Jay Wilson, I don't believe them people gave you, $3,000 in a couple of hours, girl. That's just the only way we know about the $3,000 is because that's what you said. And you always exaggerate the money, right? Like the job, 125,000, which is less than 20,000 actually. Part-timer, temp. I don't know why y'all think that boy will lie about everything else, but yet tell you the truth about somebody giving them $3,000. Nigga, you ain't worth 3,000 pennies. And it got to be so much, he just had to take off, just leave, honey. He didn't want to leave. When he left, he took the two videos down, the two most recent offensive videos down, and he never made any response, never no explanation. He never came back. He just went away. He said it's over. Soon as that little buzzer went off from Grinder, as soon as that thing went off, girl, that was it. Too much. I can't be lying all these lies, girl. I'm still trying to cover up the story from the job, and now I got to go with more lies. Oh, it's too much. She just hit the highway, honey. Ooh, YouTube proved too much for the man. Too much for the man. He couldn't take it. Now he's living the life. He's come to know. Oh, he said he's going back to find who what's left of his world, a world he left behind in Florida. Now, y'all think if Jay Wilson have to sell that house, he gonna tell us? Do y'all believe that if Jay Wilson has gotten himself in such a sticky wicket that he has to sell that house, that he will, after talking about it for all these times, solidly for 3 years, do you think he would tell us, or would he just move to Florida, move back home with his pappy? I think he wouldn't even tell us. He would just go. He ain't gonna be bold enough like the other girl who downside. He would just leave, honey. He been talking about, now they done found out that the boy has got more than one mortgage, so he's underwater on that damn house. Child, he been bragging about all his equity he gonna get, girl. That might be why he didn't move. Somebody drive out there and see if he got a for sale sign in front of that house, right? Because he was connected to that house. Then he just walks away. Somebody may see if maybe use Google Earth and see if that sign is in that front lawn, honey. Right. Come back, Charleston Blue. I want him to come back. Come on back, girl. My knuckles is starting to heal. I need something to slap around some more. Bring your ass on back. All right, my wonderful darlings. We're gonna keep an eye on the Zeus Milan Christopher situation. So we'll have us one old hateful story if it fails, and it's bullshit. Later, people.